Content, content, content. The UPSC preparation journey is flooded with content. Aspirants are drowning in this flood of content, but still feeling unproductive, unmotivated, and unfocused, all leading to stress. But remember, toppers waste one thing. It's not about how much you study, it's about how smartly you plan, manage, and track your study. Here comes the Yoda Study Planner app. Yoda app breaks down syllabuses into 230 subtopics, integrates current affairs, and offers a pool of 15,000 preliminary questions and provides daily study and practice tasks to you. Choose the study planner that best suits you. Enrolled in a test series? Opt for that. Prefer solo study sessions? Choose your personalized My Planner. Utilize 3 Yoda's trackers. Daily Effort Tracker to know how much your peers are putting effort. Ability Tracker to identify weak and strong areas, and Syllabus Tracker to monitor your syllabus completion. Download now. Think smart and be productive.
Hello all, welcome to Yoda AS. I am Aravind J. I have secured All India rank 22 in the last year's UPSC Forest Service examination. Along with preparation, I have been working as a Civil Service faculty for some years. One particular concern I have received after UPSC's 2023 prelims was students complained about the lack of relevance or lack of the traditional methods to solve UPSC's prelims exam. One idea I've been pitching over the years to students is the relevance of previous year UPSC questions and its importance. After this concern, I have analyzed 2023's prelims question paper very thoroughly, and surprisingly, I have found out that more than 50 questions could have been solved using directly or indirectly from the ideas from previous year question paper. So the very objective of this video is to make you understand about how you can comprehensively analyze and utilize previous year's questions in order to solve a particular year's UPSC's exam. I have divided this entire video section into 4. In the first section, we'll be learning about the direct applications of previous year questions in a particular year's UPSC exam. In the second session, we are going to understand how relevant is previous year question in order to tackle current affairs question in UPSC 2023's prelims. And in the next session, we are going to understand about the fundamentals from previous year UPSC question in order to solve some questions from UPSC 2023 prelims. And finally, we are going to understand how logical detections are still relevant from previous year UPSC question papers in order to solve 2023's prelims question. So without wasting any time, we are going to start our first session. Starting with the first question, the question is about asking about the importance of constitution with respect to the governance, with respect to the polity of a nation, with respect to India. That is a basic fundamental of this question. So before answering this question, I will show you 3 such questions from 2011 to 2022. The entire reference point of this discussion is UPSC question paper from 2011 to 2022. I haven't taken any other question other than these 10 years, these 10 to 11 years. So I'll show you 3 questions. Look at this question. The first question is about a constitutional government is defined as. The answer would be limited government. This was asked in 2013 or 14. Now look at another question. A constitutional government means, again, a government limited by the terms of the constitution. Again, this was asked in 2020 or 21. I'm not exactly sure about the years of the question, but all of these questions are from 2011 to 2022. So there will be some mistakes regarding the mentioning of the particular year. So that you should keep in mind. Moving forward, look at this. Look at the statement. A constitutional government is the one which places effective restriction on the authority of the state in the interest of individual liberty. See, all these three questions mentioning about the importance of a constitutional government. So you should be surprised that the very question was asked in UPSC 3 times. So importance of doing previous year UPSC question lies here. You will get repeated question. Look at the question asked in 2023. Which of the following statements best reflect the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? So easily you can recognize that it defines and limits the powers of the government. So I am well aware that you will get the answer of this question even though you are not practicing previous year question. But the importance of practicing previous year question is that you will have to take less time to think and you will have much more composure in exam when you see such a question, because you know that such kind of questions were asked in UPSC once or twice or thrice if not. So the answer is C. So this is the importance of previous year UPSC question. I hope you are getting it. UPSC can repeat topics from previous year UPSC question like this. I'll show you more. I know you are excited. Now we'll see a different aspect. Different aspect of previous year UPSC question, how to utilize it. Look at this question. I'm not going to solve questions here. I'm not going to give you the answer keys here. I'm only giving you the approaches on how to utilize PVQ. See, look at this question. This question was asked in 2013 or 14, if I'm not wrong. As I already mentioned, there will be some errors regarding the year, particular year that I mentioned. So this question is about 13th Finance Commission. Terms of reference of 13th Finance Commission. At the time of 13th Finance Commission, UPSC asked about 13th FC. Now again moving forward, see UPSC in another year, they asked about 14th Finance Commission. With reference to 14th Finance Commission, which of the following statement these are correct? I'm not going into the answer of this particular question. What I'm telling you is that in 1 year, UPSC asked you about 13th Finance Commission. Another year, UPSC asked about 14th Finance Commission. So for an aspirant who has gone through previous UPSC questions in the last 10 years, will have an idea. See, if there is a Finance Commission, 13th, 14th or whatever be the year, see, there is a chance because UPSC have asked about Finance Commission in the past. So you have to prepare by logic, by common sense, you have to prepare about 15th Finance Commission because which is the latest one. So what did UPSC do? In 2023, look at here, the question is about 15th Finance Commission and its recommendations or terms of references. See, UPSC, previous year UPSC questions will help you in many ways. As we saw earlier, it can give you repeated questions, the same repeated topics. In second question, what you saw here is, you will get some focal areas of UPSC, some favorite areas of UPSC. So, aspirant who did this process, who have completed this process would find it easier when she or he is in the exam hall. That's my hot point. See, I'll show you a question which asked in 2019. See, the question is regarding some species of turtles are herbivores, some species of fishes are herbivores, some species of marine mammals are herbivores, some species of snakes are viviparous. So UPSC asked in 2019 such a question. And the answer given by UPSC in 2019 was all of the above. All four. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we will say all four were correct. Why it was correct? Because here UPSC used a probability enhancer. It used the word some. So there is a high chance that any species of turtle, any single species of fish, any single species of marine mammal, any other single species of snake could have been all these which I have mentioned. So this is actually a possibility enhancer. The word possibility enhancer, some is a possibility enhancer. And if you think it in the opposite way, if UPSC says none of the species of turtles are herbivore, none of the species of marine mammals are so and so, none of the species of snakes are so and so, you should think the other ways. Because it's actually an elimination word, a completely blatant word. Okay, if UPSC says some can be correct, then you should think it in the other way also. None should be incorrect. Okay, so going with this logic, an aspirant who did 2019's question paper, this was asked in 2019, who did 2019 question paper, who practiced with this particular question will find 3 questions in 2023 UPSC Prelims as a cakewalk. Look at the question here. Let me clear this. Okay, look at the 3 questions asked in 2023 Prelims. Some microorganisms can grow in environments with some harsh temperature. Some microorganisms can grow in environment with harsh temperature, that is below freezing point. Some microorganisms can live in acidic environment. So here the question is not about the content. You don't need to know about the microorganisms that live in acidic water or freezing water or in high temperature. The logic here is, if you have practiced 2019 question paper, you should know that this is a possibility enhancer. So the sum can be correct. So the answer could be all three. You don't need to hesitate to mark all three as the answer because UPSC in the past have asked about this thing. So you should repeat the same thing. And moving forward, look at this question also. Look at this question also. The second question. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties. Some mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Some. I'm not going to read the entire question. The entire idea is the same. UPSC use the same word. Some, meaning a possibility and answer. Here the answer can be all four. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it can be all four. So did the pattern change? No, only the options changed. The concept given by the UPSC remained the same. Getting it? And look at the third question. You would find it more interesting. Look at the third question. With reference to some coal-based thermal power plants, none of them uses seawater. None of them is set up in water storage district. None of them is privately owned. See, it's a positive. Some can be correct, then none can be incorrect. So that's a logic you have to apply there. Unlike the content-oriented question, unlike the fact-oriented question, you don't need to study all the fact. Here you only have to use the logic. And where you get the logic from? You will get the logic from the previous year UPSC question. See, 3 questions easily could have been tackled using a single question in 2019 question paper. There lies the importance of PVQ. Again, I'm repeating it. You can expect a repeated topic in a particular year from past year's UPSC question. You can actually get a repeated area like a financial condition in a particular year from the past year's question paper. Then you will get the idea of the language regarding UPSC is using. UPSC use such language many times. So you'll get familiar with the language so that your pressure level, your stress level may be less in the exam board, which is what I'm telling about the importance of PVQ. Hope you are catching me up with. Then we'll move forward. Hope you find the session beneficial. Let me give you another instance where a PVQ can be used effectively. See, the question asked in 2019 or 17, I'm not exactly sure about the year. The question is regarding the potential size for carbon sequestration. So an aspirant who practices with 2017 or 19's question paper will know that or should know that carbon sequestration could be an important area. It should be an important area, favorite area for UPSC. See here, there are 3 options: abandoned coal seams, depleted oil reservoirs, subterranean saline formation. All these are 3 options. All these were correct regarding carbon sequestration in that particular year. So an aspirant should learn that carbon sequestration is a favorite area and how you should answer this. So by going with the same question, look at the question asked in 2023. Again, the question is regarding carbon sequestration. See, the concept is repeated. Concept is getting repeated in a particular year where we can store carbon dioxide, where we can sequester carbon dioxide. Here, subterranean mines, by increasing alkalinity, splitting finely ground basalt rock. See, even though the options are different, what I'm trying to convey you is, see, you will get a theme like a carbon sequestration, like carbon capturing, so that you will read more about it. If you practice with one particular year question paper, you will read more about that particular topic. In this way, rather than doing some random searches with Google, you will do some smart work. You will exclusively, you will particularly look into carbon sequestration so that you will get some important awareness regarding that particular topic. This is another utility of previous year UPSC question. Again, I'm repeating that. See, you'll get direct question, you'll get repeated topics, you'll get thematic areas, you'll get to know about regarding the language of UPSC. Getting it? Then moving forward, again, let me show you more such instances. There are a lot of examples regarding utility of PVQ in solving a particular UPSC question. See, this was one type of question that frightened UPSC aspirant a lot in 2023. Statement-based question, statement 1, statement 2. People found it difficult to answer such question because they didn't know how to approach this question, because this was a pattern used by UPSC once earlier, before 2011. They haven't asked such kind of questions after 2011. But again, how to solve this question using PVQ? I'll show you 2 questions. Look here. I'll show you 2 questions. A question asked in 2013, I believe, from the level of clarity regarding the screenshot of the screenshot. So the question was regarding if a tropical rainforest is removed, it does not regenerate quickly. Why? Because the answer here was the soil of rainforest is deficient in nutrients. This was the answer. You'll get the answer from UPSC. Official answer key is there. So an aspirant who practice this question will naturally know or will organically know the soil of the tropical rainforest is deficient in nutrient. Then another question, another instance. This is not a direct question, but here the question is regarding the feature of equatorial forest. These are two consecutive year questions asked in 2 consecutive years. So in addition to these 3, deficiency in nutrients, that can be another property of equatorial forest. So from 2 questions, UPSC is giving you a thematic area. You have to study about tropical forest. You have to study about the soil, property of soils in a tropical rainforest. This is what UPSC is aiming at. Their syllabus is very constrained. Their area of picking up question is very constrained. So they have to repeat the topic. So what happened in 2023 is, look at the question. The question is regarding, even though the pattern was different, look at the first statement, the soil in tropical rainforest is rich in nutrients. See, they reverse the concept. In the first statement, they reverse the concept. I know that this thing can be studied from an NCERT. This thing can be studied from a standard textbook. But by utilizing less effort, by spending less energy, just by going through some PVQ, you will get to know the concept. So once you are in the exam board, when you read this particular question, particular statement, so this particular concept will come to your mind. I have seen this somewhere else. I have seen this somewhere else in the question paper. And you will quickly remember that this is wrong because you know that from previous UPSC question, soil of tropical rainforest is deficient in nutrients. So you'll quickly come to the answer. The statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. There is only one such option. You'll get to the answer. So this is how you have to utilize previous year UPSC question. I believe you're finding it very useful. I'm repeating it once again. Again, moving forward. Let me show you another question. Yeah. Look at this question. This question was asked in 2014, I believe, 14 or 15, I believe, from the kind of text and texture used in the screenshot. Which of the following statement is or are applicable to the Jain doctrine? I know that Jainism is a fundamental topic which you have to prepare. There is no compromise in that. Jainism, Buddhism, you have to prepare. But once you prepare Jainism, once you read about Jainism and try to solve this question, you will come to know that, see, this is an important concept in Jainism. Every object, even the smallest particle has a soul is an important concept in Jainism. By practicing this question, you will come to know that this statement is correct. And naturally, automatically, you study that in Jainism, it is believed that every object will have some kind of soul, some kind of life in them. So in 2023, what UPSC did is, they simply changed the format of the question. Instead of giving it as an option, they gave it as a sentence. Souls are not only the properties of animals, even every rock, running water, everything will have some life. With respect to which of the following religion this particular statement adheres to? C. An aspirant who did the homework with the PVQ without spending more time, they'll come to the answer as Jainism. Getting it? See, an aspirant, a serious aspirant who read the fundamentals will come to know this answer. There is no doubt in that. But what I'm telling you is that you will spend less time, you will spend less energy, you will be more composed. Thereby, you will save a lot of time and lot of stress in your actual UPSC exam hall. This is my whole point. PVQ can be effectively used as a guide, as a template to solve a particular area. Getting it? So this is regarding another important aspect of PVQ. I hope this session is again getting benefited to you. So let me move to the next question. Okay. Now, let me invite you another question which was asked in 2022. I'm not going to solve this question, but you have to understand the crux of this question. So, in this particular question, Chad was given, Guinea was given, Lebanon was given, Tunisia was given. These regions are mostly from African region or West Asia region, which had some problems with them in their internal democracy and all. So, here, these areas were in news in 2023 also. So in UPSC UPSC in 2023 decided to ask a question regarding African regions or West Asian region because they appeared in current affairs multiple number of times. So what if by chance an aspirant missed such news regarding that particular area? Imagine one aspirant, he or she didn't see news regarding Chad, Guinea, Lebanon, Tunisia. In that particular area, he or she missed to read the newspaper. How can we solve this particular question? There also, UPSC will save you. See, this was asked in 2022. UPSC used the nations, Chad, Guinea, etc. Now, the magic of UPSC, previously UPSC question is that if you had practiced with 2022's UPSC paper, look at the question asked in 2023. Look at this particular question. In the recent year, Chad, Guinea, Mali and Sudan caught the international attention for what? For what? The same two options were given in 2022 also. Chad and Guinea, with the Lebanon and Tunisia are not there in the options, but two of the nations are repeated. The central idea is regarding that particular nations is getting repeated. So if you have solved 2022's UPSC question, if you have seen that answer key in 2022, you will naturally come to see answer option 4, option D as the answer. Successful coup that happened in these regions. See the options getting repeated, exact options getting very repeated. Then look at this question in 2022 also. Look at the option in 2022 also. Guinea was there in news in 2022 as well regarding the suspension of constitutional government by military. A coup was there, which was again getting repeated in 2023. See the magic of PVQ? You'll get the same topic, you'll get the same options, you'll get the same concept in next year if you have practiced in the previous year UPSC question. Not exactly the previous year, but the previous 10 years UPSC question. You'll have to save, you can save a lot of time and lot of effort regarding the preparation. Believe me, this is going to happen in 2024 as well. Now we'll move forward, and this is a bit different approach. Instead of going into 2023's question directly, I'll show you 3 different questions asked in 3 different years. 2013, 2014, 2015 or 16 I believe. I'll show you those 3 questions before getting into 2023's question paper. See, look at this question. This question is regarding, I'm not going to solve this question, only the concept. This was asked in 2019. The question was asked in 2019. So this question is about hydrogen CNG, meaning hydrogen is mixed with CNG. So this is a question asked in 2019. You only need to take that concept. Hydrogen is mixed with CNG and UPSC asked such a question in 2019. Let it be there. Now come to 2015 or 16, I'm not sure, but the question is there. Look at this question. This is about hydrogen-rich fuel cell. The question is about hydrogen fuel cell. Hydrogen fuel cell can be used as powering buildings. Hydrogen fuel cell produce electricity in the form of alternating current. Again, an aspirant who did this question will naturally come to know that hydrogen fuel cell can be used to run vehicles as well. Applications of hydrogen fuel cell, they'll come to know. Hydrogen can be used as a fuel cell. It can be used as a battery. Now, in a different year, UPSC asked about a different topic. Biomass gasification. I hope that you can see this question. This question is about biomass gasification. And one of the option was the combustible gases produced from biomass gasification cannot be used in IC engine. This was UPSC's option. Cannot be used in IC engine. Gas cannot be used in IC engine to produce energy. And what was UPSC's answer? UPSC gave the third statement as incorrect. UPSC gave biomass gasification, the product cannot be used in IC engine. That particular statement as incorrect. What is the meaning of it? A gas can be used in IC engine. Many of you may not know what is an IC engine, or barely know what is an IC engine, or meaning a vehicle engine. But you should know that an aspirant who did the previous year UPSC question should know that a gas can be used to run IC engines. This is the fact you have to get. So there are 3 questions. In first question, you saw that hydrogen can be mixed with natural gas. Second question, hydrogen can be used as a fuel cell. Third question, you learned that a gas product can be used to run an ICH. These are the three concepts you got from 3 different years UPSC question. Now, let me invite your attention towards a question asked in 2023. Look at this question. With reference to green hydrogen, whatever be it, green, blue or red, the question is regarding hydrogen. Look at the first statement. It can be used directly as a fuel for ICNG. It can be blended with natural gas. It can be used in hydrogen fuel cell. See, it can be used in hydrogen fuel cell. Where did you see it? In previous UPSC question. It can be blended with natural gas. Where did you see it? In 2019 UPSC question. It can be directly used as a fuel for internal combustion. See, in 2013 question, UPSC said that a gas cannot be it hydrogen, be it methane, be it natural gas, whatever it is, a gas cannot be used as a direct input in IC engine. But UPSC gave it as wrong, meaning it can be used as a direct input. Here, hydrogen can be directly used as a fuel. See, a person who are well versed with the previous UPSC question will think like this. Yeah, it could be correct. So answer here could be all 3. See how beautifully we can use PVQ in a particular year's UPSC. This is the magic of analyzing previous year UPSC question. This is the magic or utility of being an expertise with the previous year UPSC question. You can well manage your a future question even though it has got no direct relation with a particular year's UPSC question. You can manage the question using a blend of question. Getting it? So this was another question regarding green hydrogen. Moving forward, there are more such examples. See, this question is regarding polity. I haven't put so many screenshots regarding polity questions in this particular document because if you're well versed with Lakshmikant or if you're well thorough with the Lakshmikant, you have to answer each and every polity questions because UPSC is not going to ask a polity questions other than given in the Lakshmikant textbook because 99% of the questions would be from there. So this question is also from there, but what I'm giving you to, what I'm telling you is to the importance of UPSC, previous year UPSC question. So look at this question. This question is regarding, again, the pattern got some differences. The question is of the type statement 1 and 2 type. So people again will find it difficult to manage the question because it's a new type for new aspirants. Again, so they have to read this question entirely. Statement 1 they have to read, statement 2 they have to read, they have to think about both those statements, which one is correct, which one is wrong, or are they both of them are correct, they need to think about like this. But again, if one practices with UPSC question, previous year UPSC question, their attentions will naturally go to a particular place. As far as just when they see this question, just when this particular question appears in their question paper, an aspirant who is well versed with previous year UPSC question will naturally instantly look at one particular place. Where is that place? I'll show you by showing you 2 previous year UPSC questions. There are a lot of such questions, but I'm only taking 2 such questions. So look at this question. Consider the following question asked in a particular previous year. The Constitution of India classifies, the total Constitution of India classifies ministers into 4 types. Here the question is let me zoom out it. See, look at this question. The Constitution of India defines its basic structure. So in the earlier question, Constitution of India classifies. That was the question. I'm not going to draw there. So here the idea is whenever UPSC asks such a question, the error part would be here, whether the Constitution defines it, whether the Constitution classifies it, whether the Constitution clearly mentions it, whether the Constitution explains the concept of. So that part should be the wrong one. Mostly that should be the wrong one. So an aspirant who did previous year UPSC question will naturally tend to think that, so whenever such a question comes, where should UPSC put a wrong statement? A wrong statement should be in the part of the definition regarding that particular concept given in the Constitution. Here look at the statement 2. Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. So an aspirant who did not do the previous year UPSC question, did not do such homework, will read the entire question, statement 1, statement 2, and they'll think about it. But an aspirant who did the previous year UPSC question will read this. read this particular part, and he or she will come to know that this should be the incorrect part. Constitution of India defines it. Naturally, they'll think about it. So look at it. Statement 2 is not the correct statement. Statement 2 is not correct. Statement 1 can be correct. There is only one such option. So C can be correct. So how easy it became once you do the PVQ. Getting it? So this is my whole point. This is my whole point of this first session. Again, there are more magic into PVQ. I'll show you it. This is one part of it. Moving forward, I'll give you 2 such questions from PVQ first. Then we'll move to a question asked in 2023. So look at these 2 questions asked in 2 different years. With reference to Gupta dynasty, what are the importance of, or what are the towns Gandashala, Kadura, Chaula indicating? Another year, which one of the following was a very important seaport in the Kakatiya kingdom? Again, the answer of the first question, Gandashala, Kadura, were the ports handling foreign trade. Ports in ancient India, 1 year. Again, ports in medieval India or early medieval India, Kakatiya kingdom. Answer, I'm not remembering the answer exactly, but again, what you get is ports in ancient and medieval India is an important area for UPSC, because in 2 different years, UPSC asked about ports, Gupta ports, Kakinada ports. They can ask about Chera ports, Chola ports, because Cholas were the naval powers in medieval India. So a logical student, an aspirant who think logically or rationally should think about, see, I have to prepare about ports instead of preparing some coins or some calendars or some dance forms. See, here UPSC is repeating about the ports of ancient India, ports of medieval India. So what I should do is take that art and culture book of you, study the ports of ancient and medieval India, because there are high possibility that UPSC will again ask about ports. And what happened in 2023 is, look at this question. With reference to ancient South India, Kopkai, Poompuhar, Musiri were well known as, what is your answer? What is your answer? Ports. Getting it? So this is how UPSC can direct you. By practicing PVQs effectively, UPSC can well direct you to a particular question in future. See, this is what I'm telling you. Are you getting it? So this is what I'm telling you exactly. You have to practice with PVQ, because a lot of your work will become easier. Look at this question. In the making of the above, which of the above hydrofluorocarbons are used? In what context you read about hydrofluorocarbons? Ozone depletion. In that particular context, you are reading hydrofluorocarbons. So in this particular question, aerosols, foam agents, fire retardants, lubricants are there, and they are asking about the utility of HFCs in this scenario. Again, there was a question in 2000, I'm not exactly remembering the year, 2014 or 15 I believe. Look at this question. Consider the following statements. Chlorofluorocarbons, well known for ozone depleting substances, are used in where? Here the question is about CFC, utility of CFC. Here the question is about HFC, utility of HFC. Where? Foam, plastic foams, tubeless tires, cleaning electric components, aerosol cans. See, I'm not going into the answer. Answer is different. I'll tell you in later, in another video. But here, the theme is same. CFC, instead of CFC, the question is about HFC. Instead of the options aerosols, see, look at the options here. Aerosols and foam agents are here also. Aerosols and foam agents are here also. Only the 2 different options are there. But once you practice with the previous UPSC question, you'll learn about HFC, you'll learn about CFC, you'll read about ozone depleting substances, and you will come to know the answer. So this is another important area. Getting it? So you'll get to know about the thematic areas of favorite areas of UPSC from PVQ alone. Moving again, I'll show you more. It's not ended here. I'll show you 2 questions before answering 1 question asked in 2023. So this question is about, hope you can see this. This particular question is about Buddhist rocket caves. Buddhist rocket caves, there are different kinds of Buddhist rocket caves. Chaityas are there, viharas there. Once you read Buddhism, you know that another important concept in Buddhism is what? Stupas. These are the three important concepts in Buddhism. Chaitya, Viharas, Stupas. So an aspirant who do this particular question, Chaitya and Vihara, naturally should think that there is one more concept is there, Stupa, which hasn't asked anywhere in UPSC Prelims. So you can expect if UPSC can ask about Chaitya, if UPSC will ask about Vihara, then you should definitely expect a question regarding Stupa. You should read about it. Stupa can be an important topic. Why? Because a related topic has been asked by UPSC in the earlier year. Now, this should be your first insight. How can you predict a different topic? Then let me give you another example. This is not a direct question, but a direct connection, but a different concept. Look at this question here. Consider the following. The arrival of Babur into India led to the. The question is here. The arrival of Babur into India led to the. Look at the wordings used by UPSC. Introduction of gunpowder. Introduction of Ashandong. Establishment of Timurid dynasty. This was asked in 2015, I believe. So the answer to this particular question was establishment of Timurid dynasty alone. UPSC gave the first two options as incorrect because it used the word introduction here. Introduction of gunpowder, introduction of Ashandong, because there are high possibilities that introducing a particular thing by a particular person, especially in a question like this, which can be wrong because earlier somebody would have done it. Here in the case, Sultanate did it. Here in the case, Chinese did it. Introduction of particular gunpowder. Getting it? Here a similar question was asked in another year also. British in India, they caused which of the following? And UPSC, they also used the word introduction. Introduction of something. Introduction of something. I forgot to include the screenshot here. There also UPSC used the words introduced. So by the same logic, those statements were also wrong. Because there are high chances that that particular thing can be wrong. Because it is not very sure that introduction can be done by a particular person. We cannot assure it. Here also, if an aspirant practiced such two questions, will naturally think like it. It can be correct, it can be wrong, but most of the times, UPSC went with the wrong thing. Introduction can be a wrong thing with respect to a particular person or a particular subject. Here also in 2023, look at the question. The question is about stupas. With respect to ancient India, consider the following. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. The stupa was generally a deposit of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure. So here, question number 2 or statement 2 and 3 are fundamentals. If you read about Chaitya, if you read about Vihara, you should read about stupa also. If you read about stupa, you will come to know about these two statements. But what of the first statement? This is what my focal point. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. In other words, stupa was introduced by Buddhism. So that's a concept here. Cultivation of a particular crop was introduced by the British. Gunpowder was introduced by Babur. Ashdom was introduced by Babur. So here UPSC play with the same concept. Introduction of something which is wrong. Here also, Sanchaki is not released yet, but most probably the concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin is wrong. So here answer could be only 2. Getting it? So this is how PVQ will help you. Look at this question. So this question was asked in 2016. And match the following question. Annex 1 countries, Cartagena Protocol, Certified Emission Reductions, Nagoya Protocol, Clean Development Mechanism, Kyoto Protocol. So I'm not going into the details of these protocols in this discussion because this is just an analysis video. How can you utilize PVQ? Here in 2016, UPSC asked about Nagoya. So person who practices with 2016 question paper should study about the options given in this question. What is the purpose of Cartagena Protocol? What is the purpose of Nagoya Protocol? What do they indicate? How do they function? All these things should be read because it's given in the PVQ. It's an important topic in the syllabus, important topic in the environment subject. So you should read about Nagoya Protocol. And the person who is going to read about Nagoya Protocol would find the first thing in Nagoya Protocol is about Biodiversity Management Committee because that's the essence of Nagoya Protocol. So a person who read about Nagoya Protocol will naturally come to know about BMC. And what did UPSC do in 2023? Look at this question. Consider the following statements. The question is about Biodiversity Management Committee. I know that We cannot solve this question directly using the 2016 question paper. But what I'm telling you is that if you had done your homework with 2016 question paper, you might have come to know about BMC. Then you can answer this question. There are high chances that you can answer this question. I'm not completely saying that you 100% made this question correct. But there are high chances that you're going to make this question correct. Are you getting my point? So this is another instance where we can use PVQ. Then few questions are left in this category. Now we have to discuss a lot regarding 2023 question paper in different categories. So in this category, there are some questions are going to be left. Now look at this question. A very lengthy question regarding presidential election. I'm not going to mark it anywhere. Just telling you something. The question is asked about the mode of presidential election, value of an MLA's vote, value of an MP's vote, the formula used for calculating the weightage of a particular vote by an MP or MLA. The question is in 2023, asked in 2023. 4 statements are there. But my point is, go to 2018. Take 2018's question paper. Take a particular question in 2018, asked in 2018. Take this question. The question is regarding election system of president, voting system of presidential election, value of vote of MLA, value of vote of MP. So if you practice with 2018 question paper, naturally you will study about how this voting system works, how the value system works, how the population and constitutional electoral assemblies are related to each other, how the fraction changes. All these things you might have read. Getting it? So thereby you will build some content. From Lashmi also you can build this content, no doubt in that. But from PVQ you will get to know more about that content. And using that concept you could have solved in 2023's question also. Getting it? This is another question. I believe you are getting me properly. Moving forward. Again. Another interesting finding from PVQ. This is another interesting finding from PVQ. The question is regarding some properties of water. I can cite a number of questions from previous year UPSC question where UPSC asked about properties of water regarding the universal, how water is known as the universal coolant, then regarding the unusual expansion of water. That kind of questions were asked in UPSC in different areas. I'm not going into such areas. But here the question is regarding temperature difference between continents and ocean. That is the only focus here. And what is the concept of, the second question is about the concept of specific heat of water. So many non-science students would find it difficult to answer this question. But this is for non-scientific students or students from non-science background. Do your homework. Do your homework with PVQs. What you are seeing in PVQ is there are 2 questions in PVQ. Look at this question. Asked in 2015 or 14, I believe. The annual range of temperature in interior of the continent is high as compared to coastal areas. What is or are the reasons? One such reason was thermal difference between land and water. So if you had done 2015 or 14's question paper, you will come to know about this. Thermal difference between land and water. Here also I will give you another area, another question. Westerlies in southern hemisphere are stronger and persistent than in northern hemisphere. Why westerlies are stronger? Why westerlies are persistent? Southern hemisphere has less landmass as compared to northern hemisphere. Here again a relation between land and water is given. So an aspirant who performs or who practices with PVQ will come to know about the specific heat properties of land and water. They'll naturally see the solution of these 2 questions. These 2 questions will naturally lead you to the concept of specific heat. I believe you are getting it. So solving these 2 questions will naturally lead to the idea of specific heat of water. Because using that concept only westerlies work. Using that concept only the temperature range differs. Getting it? So a person who practices with these 2 questions will naturally come to know about the specific heat concept of water. Getting it? Also, another different year, UPSC asked about the universal cooling property of water, solving property of water. In another year, UPSC asked about the anomalous expansion of water. See, water is an important area. Properties of water is an important area with respect to UPSC. That is another insight you are going to get. Important properties of water is specific heat, is abnormal expansion, its universal solveness. These areas can be repeated because that is an important area for UPSC from PVQ, which is what we are knowing. Again, getting into last few questions here. So this question is regarding MSP. Government of India provides MSP for Niger. Niger is cultivated as a kharif crop. Some tribal people in India use Niger for cooking. See, here the same logic works. Some tribal people in India, yeah, there are possibilities, some of them. What if the question was like this? None of the tribal people in India are using Niger as a crop. That can be wrong, right? So here this is a possibility enhancer. So this thing can be well correct, third statement. But what are the first two statements? There lies the importance of PVQ. See, if you have practiced with PVQ, you will find about MSP, questions regarding MSP a multiple number of times. Crops which are being given MSPs, authorities responsible for MSP, formula used for MSP calculation. UPSC asked about MSP in multiple number of years. I'm not putting all the screenshots here, only an important one. See, some crops which are being given MSP by government. See, by practicing PVQ, you will see MSP, questions regarding MSP multiple number of times, and you will naturally come to know about MSP. And one important aspect, look how we can use it. If you study about MSP, you'll come to know that there are some 20 to 23 crops which are being given MSP, and out of them, 90% of them are kharif crops. Some 4 or 5 of them are only rabi crops. So, what is the easy thing there? Instead of studying all the 18 kharif crops, we'll study some rabi crops, right? So, if Niger is cultivated as a rabi crop, we'll come to know that. Because only 4 or 5 rabi crops are there. We'll bypass all those names because studying 18 of them are difficult. So, rabi crop, we'll study it because there are 4 or 5 of them. So, we'll study about Niger. We'll see Niger if it was a rabi crop. So, if it is not a rabi crop, if it is not seen as a rabi crop, or if it is what was seen as a rabi crop, we'll remember it. But here, Niger is cultivated as a kharif crop. So, you have to think about it. Chance of Niger becoming a rabi crop is very less. In other words, chance of becoming Niger a kharif crop is very high because there are 18 of them. So, think about 18 cereals in India. Niger would come in that 18 for sure. That's the logic here. So, 2 can be considered as correct, thought as correct, not % concluded as correct, but we get take here chances. Getting it? So that's about the second statement. Again, the first statement you have to take the chance, but you will get some idea regarding MSPs. Getting it? For those who hardworking people, they will study about the 18 crops which are being given about, 18 or 17 kharif crops which are considered for MSPs. Then they will come to know about Niger as well. So that's the purpose of this question. That's the purpose of using MSPs, PVQs for study topics repeated in the UPSC question year after year. So that is regarding MSP. And again, this question is regarding Earth atmosphere and the topic is from greenhouse effect. Topic is from greenhouse effect. See, the question was asked in 2023 and they're asking about infrared rays. Are infrared rays part of visible spectrum? Are infrared rays causing water vapor to be absorbed? So and so. But in 2017, I believe, the question was asked. If you look at this question, the increasing amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causing greenhouse effect. Why? Because it absorbs the infrared part of the solar radiation. See, UPSC in 2016 or 17 itself gave the concept of infrared radiation and its contribution to global warming. So an aspirant would naturally read about how infrared is causing greenhouse effect. And they'll come to know about infrared, its wavelength, where is it found, how abundant it is in the atmosphere. All these things should be read. That's the purpose of practicing PVQ. Rather than just going and doing all these, you have to read more about that particular topic. That's the purpose of this thing. So you'll read about IR in detail. Then thereby reading that information, you'll come to know about IR is not part of visible spectrum. IR is not the abundant source. IR absorbs water vapor. All these things should be read by you. And you can answer that particular question as well. So that is regarding the global warming aspect. Moving forward, last 2 or 3 question. UPSC once asked about Agni 4. Instead of studying it content-wise, you can do it in a smarter way. Agni 4 was asked in UPSC in a different year. In a particular year, Agni 4 was asked. Getting it? Agni 4 was asked, and once you do this question, you will come to know that Agni 4 is not a cruise missile. Agni 4 is a ballistic missile. Agni 4 is a ballistic missile, and this should be the basic understanding you would get once you go through this question. I'm not saying that you will get to know about Agni, each and every aspect of Agni through this question, but the basic idea you are going to get is difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. Difference between whether Agni is a ballistic or cruise missile. These are the fundamental idea you are going to get from this question. Isn't it? So, when it comes to 2023's question paper, the question is regarding difference between Agni means ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. So, here UPSC said that Agni 5 is a cruise missile. BrahMos is a ballistic missile. This thing is ulta here. Getting it? So, this is another area. So, again, we are into the last two questions on how to utilize PVQs directly to solve a particular UPSC question. We'll finish with these two questions in this section. So, look at this. The question is regarding coal utilization of India, uranium utilization of India. Second thing is regarding some conceptual thing. Enrichment of uranium, some very conceptual thing in science and technology and nuclear science. You don't need to know this concept to solve this question, I would say, if you practice with PVQ. Why I'm telling you this? Whenever UPSC wants to make a particular fact wrong, they'll do with some kind of freedom. So they'll do with some wide degree of freedom. So here, even though you don't need to know about you don't need to know about the concept of enrichment. Here UPSC used the fact as 60% of enrichment, some kind of number, be it that. Take a previous year UPSC question. Take a previous year UPSC question asked in 2017, I believe. The question was regarding National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. Here, UPSC used a number. It has a corpus of 4 lakh crore, which is a very big number. In fact, it was some 4,000 or 40,000. I'm not remembering exactly. But what I'm telling you is, if UPSC want to make a particular fact wrong, it will do lavishly. So there are many instances like this. UPSC used a particular number having no direct relation or a near relation with the actual number. UPSC made all of them are incorrect. So here, if you have practiced such questions in the past, you can take a chance. What is the chance there? The second statement could have been wrong because that number is very high for a UPSC question, for a statement, for uranium to be enriched. And so that's the thing there. Statement 2 can be or cannot be, can be taken as incorrect. Then look at this question. Second question. Here, 2019 UPSC asked about utilization of coal sector in India, utility of coal sector in India. And a person who is practicing the fundamentals of coal or who is studying about the fundamentals of coal will naturally come to know that coal sector is mainly used for electricity production. And what did UPSC gave in 2023's question? Look at the first statement. India, despite having uranium deposit, depends on coal for most of its electricity production. So that's a correct statement. First statement is correct. Second statement is incorrect. In fact, there is only one such option. Option C can be the correct answer here. Now the last question here is regarding India's water usage, India's underground water usage. See, what I am saying is, look at the two questions asked in previous year UPSC. In one such question, UPSC had given India's overexploited nature of underground water. And UPSC said about the fact that India is one of the largest utilizer of underground water. And in another question, which one of them among is following the maximum utilization of water utilizer of water in India? So here two questions, one theme is getting repeated. What is it? Underground water utilization. Who is the largest underground water utilizer? Which is the largest surface water utilizer? Where is India's underground water lies? All these kind of themes are there in previous UPSC question. An aspirant who practice with previous UPSC question should naturally think about, see, this area can be asked. water utilization, industries utilizing water, India's position in utilizing water, importance of underground water, all these things should be read. Some kind of basic idea should be there. And in 2023, what did UPSC do? UPSC exactly repeated the same concept. Underground water concept. Even though it can be categorized as a current affair question, again the theme is same. Extent of underground water utilization. The theme is getting repeated again. So again, we have discussed some 15, 16 questions here, which can be effectively tackled using if you had practiced with PYQs well. What I am telling you is importance of PYQ. By this 1 hour discussion, I believe you got to have, you might have got an idea regarding effectivity of PYQs in solving prelims question paper. One thing, let me summarize that point. You will get direct questions, direct repeated topics. You will get thematic areas frequently asked. You will get to know about the language of UPSC. Again, you can predict a particular question. Again, you can focus on a particular area where UPSC might make a mistake, like their constitution defines part. See, all these are utility of PYQ. Most importantly, you will have your fear, you will have your stress level very low compared when you sit in an exam hall. Getting it? So this is the utility of PYQ, I would say. See, through this method, we could have solved some 15 to 16 questions in 2023's UPSC as well, thereby scoring some 30 to 35, 36 marks. So this is the first section of this video, analysis video. In this analysis section, we have seen that how we can effectively utilize PYQs to solve particular question. Now we are going to the second part of this analysis video on how to prepare upon current affairs, which is what I am telling you. Again, in that session also, I will stress you upon the importance of PYQ. I will show you the importance of PYQ there as well. Getting it? So we'll move forward. We'll move forward with the second session, current affairs part of this 2023's UPSC Prelims.
Content. The UPSC preparation journey is flooded with content. Aspirants are drowning in this flood of content, but still feeling unproductive, unmotivated, and unfocused, all leading to stress. But remember, toppers waste one thing. It's not about how much you study, it's about how smartly you plan, manage, and track your study. Here comes the Yoda Study Planner app. Yoda app breaks down syllabuses into 230 subtopics, integrates current affairs, and offers a pool of 15,000 preliminary questions and provides daily study and practice tasks to you. Choose the study planner that best suits you. Enrolled in a test series? Opt for that. Prefer solo study sessions? Choose your personalized My Planner. Utilize 3 Yoda's trackers. Daily Effort Tracker to know how much your peers are putting effort. Ability Tracker to identify weak and strong areas, and Syllabus Tracker to monitor your syllabus completion. Download now. Think smart and be productive.